Hey guys, this is Simeon back again with another video. I'm going to be talking about criticism this time um, because this has been a huge issue for me in my life um, as an INFP. Um, so let me preface this by saying that I have, I think, maybe a unique viewpoint on this now because of the way I spent my last year of life. So last year in January, I went on an 11-month mission trip with a Christian organization called Adventures in Missions, and um, it has a program called the World Race, and we go for 11 months. You skip from place to place, country to country. For 11 months, you go and do service projects in each country. Just plug in wherever the people there need help. So I mean, we cleaned pig pens and we hauled, dirt and rocks uphill. We did farming and harvesting. We did um, homeless ministry, all kinds of stuff. We built orphanages and just kind of loved on, orphans and stuff like that. And it was just really cool. And it was a great experience. It really changed my view of myself. Part of that was that in that program we had a team of maybe about 5 to 7 people depending on the month, and we had to do something called feedback. Now feedback, oh man, feedback was some stuff. What happens is that you have to meet with these people 6 out of 7 times a week, and everybody gets to basically give each other constructive criticism as well as encouragement, um, and insight on like great things and that they see in other people, and also ways that you can grow and look more like Christ. Now, whether you believe in God or not, basically it's people getting together and having a community where you're constantly being poured into. And some of that stuff is positive and you feel great about yourself. Some of that stuff is negative, and if you're like me, you feel like crap. You know how INFPs, we struggle, I think, um, with accepting criticism because we spend so much time in our heads wondering, do I have it right? Am I, have I got this the right way? Am I right? Because the whole world needs to be right, right? Like we want everything to be okay. We want everything to be, authentic, and we want everything to be real and righteous and true and good. And so when when our own goodness and our own righteousness is judged, it's found wanting, or some negative light cast upon it, we go in a crisis mode, like, oh my gosh, my whole world's falling apart, and things are not the way that I thought they were, or are they? And then we start doubting ourselves, and sometimes if we're not in a healthy place, which is hard to be in a healthy place if if you're constantly getting criticism and you're not dealing with it, we can really, I think, um, become very angry people because the hurt comes, the doubt comes, the fear comes, and then we have to do something. And I think I used to react in just anger. My emotions would just flare up, and I just want to fight somebody. And um, I'm a very peaceful person. I don't physically fight, but my mouth can do some punches every now and then. Um, so what I had to do is learn how to get used to getting this negative criticism. And over time, I actually began to love it. I know that's hard to believe, but I began to love it. And I'm now, to this day, now that I'm out of the program and I'm with a totally new community, I'm trying to find people that I can engage on that level, who will both give and accept criticism from and to me. I want that kind of relationship with people. And man, this is weird to talk about because I realize how, 15 months ago, I would have been, negative criticism was just not on it was on my top list of things that I hate. Um, but now I see the light. Let me talk about that light. So we spend a lot of time in our own heads thinking the way that INFPs think, right? We think we have it all together, and if we don't, we're looking for it. So that's good, right? Yes. But we only think about it from like our stance. But other people see things that we don't see. And it doesn't really matter what type they are or what type you are. It just goes to show you that four eyes are better than two, as one head, is worse than two heads. Two heads are better, whatever, you know what I mean. Anyway, um, what I'm trying to say is it's better to have other people outside of your own head that's so busy with thought about yourself and about the world and how you fit into it. Those people don't have that stuff. They just see you, they see your actions, and they hear the things that you say, and they see how those things work together. And if they love you, they're able to come to you and say, you know what? I see something that you can do better in. And if we don't buck the system, if we don't like buck up our emotions and get ready to fight and go into fight mode, defense mode, what we can do is learn ways that have escaped us, like ways that we have moved against what we really want to be as people in the world of good. Other people can point that out in us and help us to do exactly what we want to do in our own hearts. We want to purify our hearts and make sure that it's right. And other people who love us can tell us, this might be an issue you should look into. And it's up to us to say, okay, I accept that you love me, and I accept that you want to help me see how I can be a better me. I love that because I love to do that to other people. Now, as I don't know if that's an INFP thing, but I love to help people and tell them, hey, like, I feel like you could grow in this area. I think you're doing great over here, but over here, I really feel like you could be more efficient. I really feel like you could be, more this, more that, to be the better you that I want to see you become. I know that there's gold in you. I know that there's a diamond that needs to be polished, and it needs to be cut, and, some stuff needs to be pruned and all this stuff. That's everybody in the world. So when it comes to me, why can't that be the same case? I'm not the only person that does pruning on my life. I'm not the only person that should be able to look at it and say, you know what, there's some issues there. And so it started off as a negative thing for me. But I was determined at the beginning of the year that I had done everything my way for 30 years, over 30 years. And I wasn't going to do it my way anymore. And somebody presented this to me, and I felt that it was God confirming, hey, like, I have something better for you if you'll just trust me for this year. These 11 months, you'll see some changes. And I did. I went from somebody, like I said before, I went from somebody who totally hate feedback time to somebody who's just asking people, hey, is there anything that's constructive criticism that you can give me to help me be better at being me? It's like having extensions of my INFP personality that's always trying to fix things. We're fixers. Having other people become like extensions of me, and I'm like Dr. Octopus, with these different heads around me, or that are whatever, that are just looking at me and allowing me to become a better me by telling me the things that I want to know about myself. I think if we begin to see that other people who love us, who are invested emotionally in our life, those people can be great help to us. And criticism can be our best friend. Criticism can be a great power in your life. And I want you to take a look at the people in your life who've given you criticism in the past. And whether they were your friend or your enemy, or they were people who you hated or you loved, it doesn't really matter. Because even lies can bring truth when they're examined. If somebody says, Simeon, you're selfish, and I don't think I'm selfish, well, you know what? What I can do is say, I don't really like that you said I'm selfish, but that's just emotion. We can toss that for a second. Let's look at what you said. You said I'm selfish. So I'm going to go examine myself like I already do. I'm going to go say, am I selfish? Let me look at ways that I might have been selfish. I might even ask that person, can you tell me specific times where I have been selfish? Now, this is me probably thinking outside of the INFP mode. I don't know. I'm thinking, I think more like somebody else who looks for like hard, evidence for things. And maybe that's like I don't know, what is that, an FE or a TE? I don't know. I don't know what that is. I'm not good at this stuff. I'm still learning. But that function is not something that I normally would do, I think, on myself when it comes to stuff. It's like, I'm more like emotionally involved in things, how things make me feel, and all that good stuff. You guys understand if you're INFP or any kind of type like that. Um, but I'm asking those people, can you give me specific times where I was selfish so that I can actually see it for myself? Or the next time you see me being selfish, can you actually just politely pull me aside and say, you know what, Simeon, you asked me to tell you this. I feel like in this situation you're being selfish. Then I can see it and I can say, man, you know what? I was selfish in that situation. I wonder if this is a pattern in my life. Now, you know, we INFPs, we love patterns. And so if you can find that pattern, you can say, I'm going to break this mother freaker. Like, that doesn't need to be a part of my life. I don't want it to be a part of my life. And I don't want to be a selfish person. I want to be generous. And that's if you find that issue. Now, if you don't find it, if you can't find enough evidence and those people can't point those things out and you can't find a pattern, then you can know you're not a selfish person. And if it ever comes up again, you can say, I've had this out already. But you can still say, you know what, I'll still take a look at myself. But last time I checked, I'm a generous person. I'm not, I'm not selfish. I think that if we begin to allow other people to be that for us, we will grow in intimacy with them. We will grow in relationship with them, because when you can gracefully accept criticism from people who love you, they learn to trust you more. You learn to trust them more because you know that they love you even more. They love you enough to give you a swift kick in the rump when you just need to get your stuff together. And you give yourself swift kicks in the rump all the time. We beat ourselves up. If you're anything like me as an INFP, you beat yourself up about anything wrong you see in yourself. You hate the fact that you find things in you that aren't, with this ideal of perfection, that we are always trying to aspire to and bring other people to that level. But if other people will help us in that, we are better off. So, I think that's the end of the video. I'm going to free talk a little bit, just in case there's anything else that might come out. Criticism. Criticizing other people. I think having a conversation with people who you want to give constructive criticism to is a great idea, because you need to build that trust already. You can't just go out and just say, I'm going to criticize you, like I'm going to give you some constructive criticism right now, unless it's something that's that important that you need to know this right now. Now, we might think everything is something you need to know right now, but it's not the truth. Some things you can hold on until that person trusts you more. Because imagine if everybody, you meet somebody for the first time and they tell you, I got some constructive criticism for you. And you're going to be like, motherfucker, I'm going to punch you in the face, maybe with my mouth, with my words, So, punch you in the face with my mouth. That sounds weird. Anyway, building that relationship with people before you begin to give them constructive criticism, I think is very, very important, because you would expect the same thing from other people. And having the conversation about constructive criticism and seeing how they feel about it, we might realize that they're as sensitive about it as we are. And we need to be able to respect that person's heart, respect that person's feelings, and wait until we're at a point with them where we can give that to them without it being something that sets them back and sets us back in our relationship and in their life. Sometimes criticism to other people can break them down as opposed to build them up, and we need to know that they're emotionally aware and emotionally healthy enough to accept that criticism and to see it for what it is. So yeah, that's about all I have for today. I hope you guys are enjoying my videos. I'm really enjoying it. Like, this is like catharsis. This is therapy for me. Just speaking about how I am and who I am and how I work, and knowing that there's people out there who feel the same way or maybe don't, but like to understand how other people think. I enjoy watching the Myers-Briggs videos online and all the other ways people talk about their life, because it gives me, how we are INFPs. We like to understand people. We like to understand the way things work, and to be able to put my little puzzle piece out and share with you guys is great. So if you like this video, please subscribe right here and press like. And I will see you guys on the flip side. Simeon out. Peace.